Hello and welcome to Into Vietnam Weekend. Today we'll bring you comprehensive news on Vietnam's economy throughout the past week, following our major stories to come. The State Bank of Vietnam raised base interest rate to 9% per annum. Vietnam government decided to inject US dollar into the market. And our talk with the newly appointed CEO of Standard Chartered Bank, Louis Taylor. But first, let's have a look at the figures of the week.
The State Bank of Vietnam said on Friday that it would raise the base interest rate to 5% per annum. The rate came into effect from November the 5th, after staying unchanged at 8% per annum for nearly 12 consecutive months. On the same day, SBV also decided to raise the refinancing rate on the interbank market to 9% per annum from 8% and raise the discount rate to 7% from 6%. Interest rates for overnight loans in the interbank lending and the electronic clearing payment of the SBV for local lenders would also be increased to 9% per annum from 8%. Major dealer Sacombank Jewelry listed their gold at $35.03 million per tael for bead and $35.19 million for ras on Saturday morning. The figures rose between $1.8 and $1.85 million per tael from the previous week, one of the strongest weekly increases in local market in history. Transactions soared in the unofficial market on Saturday morning. Most of the people sold the precious metals for profits, but quite a number of others bought in speculation of further price hikes. In the global market, bullion skyrocketed on Friday to the all-time high of $1,400 per ounce. Gold for immediate delivery closed the session at $1,394.1 per ounce for wheat and $1,395.1 per ounce. The gold has jumped 6% since Fed announced its $600 billion Treasury buying plan to boost the US economy on Wednesday. The Vietnamese government estimates its public debt will total some 56.7% of gross domestic product by the end of the year. The figure will include government debt totaling 44.5% of GDP and loans that it has guaranteed totaling 12.2% of GDP. Foreign debt will total 42.2% of GDP. The figures are revealed in government estimates tabled in the ongoing meeting of the National Assembly. The report puts total tax revenue for the year at $520 trillion, about $27 billion. The figures rise 12.7% from the initial estimate and 17.6% from 2009. Lawmaker Nguyễn Minh Thuyết of Lạng Sơn province asked the government to provide a further explanation of the public debt. He disagreed with the way in which the figure of 56.7% of GDP was calculated. He argued the international practice of public debt calculation includes the money which banks and state-owned enterprises owe in the total, and Vietnam's public debt must be no less than 70% of the country's GDP, based on that definition.
In the next part of the program, Investment Focus will cover foreign investment in Vietnam and the country's collaboration with other partners around the world. Russia and Japan have signed major investment deals with Vietnam to build the Southeast Asian country's first nuclear power plants. More details in the following story.
Russian President Dmitry Medvedev witnessed the signing of a $5.6 billion deal on Sunday. It stated that his country could build a nuclear reactor in Vietnam in a bid to boost ties. Meanwhile, Japan's Prime Minister Naoto Kan also announced in Hanoi that his country would build 2 other nuclear reactors in Vietnam. The deal followed by talks between government leaders at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN Summit in Hanoi. Vietnam plans to build 8 nuclear reactors in the next 2 decades.
Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng told reporters on Sunday that Vietnam had chosen Japan as the partner for exploration and mining of rare earth materials. The deal followed his talks with Japanese counterpart Naoto Kan in Kan's first official state visit to Hanoi. The cooperation is expected to lead to even closer ties between the two countries. A Japanese official said after Sunday's talks that Japan believes it will win exploitation rights for minerals in Vietnam's northwestern Lai Châu province. Japan is looking to diversify its supply of the rare minerals after its key provider China announced a 30% cut in rare earth export quotas in 2011. Russia's second-largest bank by assets, VTB, signed a deal with Vietnam's BIDV on Sunday to jointly launch a $500 million fund to invest in energy and mining. VTB's chairman, Andre Costin, said his bank will inject $10 million and BIDV $5 million in the first stage of the fund, which is expected to begin next year. The banks also plan to raise another $85 million via capital markets. The deal was signed during a recent visit to Hanoi by Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. The Russian president and his Vietnamese counterpart Nguyễn Minh Chiết witnessed the signing of other agreements, including a deal to jointly build Vietnam's first nuclear power plant. Vietnam has assured India that the problems which have blocked Tata Steel's $5 million integrated steel plant has been resolved. Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng made the pledge to his Indian counterpart Manmohan Singh during the East Asia Summit in Hanoi.
The Tata Steel project has been running into repeated difficulties since the firm signed a memorandum of understanding with Vietnam Steel Corporation in 2007. Repeated signed agreements have been overturned by local Vietnamese authorities. At the same time, there has been stiff competition for Taiwanese and Chinese firms for the lands allotted for the plant, 4.5 million ton steel plant. At the meeting, Singh told his Vietnamese counterpart that the Tatas were an important corporate entity and reminded him of Hanoi's previous commitments. The Vietnamese leaders promised that the investment could go through. Tata Steel has a balanced global presence in over 50 developed European and fast-growing Asian markets, with manufacturing operations in 26 countries.
This Monday, Standard Chartered has officially welcomed its new CEO for Vietnam, Mr. Louis Taylor. With the new CEO, Standard Chartered is also sketching new strategies for the Vietnamese market. In this week Talk with Us, let's get acquainted with Mr. Louis Taylor and his plans for Standard Chartered Vietnam. Well, hello, Mr. Louis, and thank you for joining with our interview of today. Well, first of all, welcome to Vietnam, and can you share with us some information about your background and how long have you been working for Standard Chartered?
Thank you. Very good to be here. I am English by background. I studied law at university. I spent some time in investment banking, then working in a couple of industrial companies doing strategy and acquisitions for them before joining Standard Chartered about 6 years ago. And during most of that time I've been working on Standard Chartered's own acquisitions around Asia, Africa and the Middle East, including our investment in Asia Commercial Bank here in Vietnam.
Well, can you share with us some of Standard Chartered's achievements in Vietnam since first established in this market?
Well, Standard Chartered was first established in Vietnam a very long time ago in about 1904. So we've been here over 100 years, off and on. But we really re-established ourselves in the last part of the last century. And we have since managed to incorporate as a locally incorporated bank here last year. So I think that incorporation is a huge achievement for Standard Chartered here and demonstrates our commitment to the market. I think the other achievements we've made are to be able to help the financial institutions sector in Vietnam to grow and to help a lot of the state-owned enterprises to fund projects that they are very keen to develop. And all of those helping the economy to develop as a whole. In terms of what we want to achieve going forward, I think we want to add to our existing achievements a bigger franchise amongst the corporate sector, all the way from foreign companies coming into Vietnam through local large corporates, mid-market corporates and small and medium enterprises. And we have a range of products that we hope will help those companies to develop and help the overall Vietnamese economy to develop as well.
Well, you are the CEO of Standard Chartered since November the 1st. So can you share with us some of your plans for the Vietnamese market in the coming time?
Well, we have a lot of plans. The first thing is to say that we are here to stay and we're fully committed to the market here in Vietnam. We are here for good. And one of the consequences of incorporating here as a local bank is that we have to meet minimum capital requirements. So we will be bringing a lot of capital into Vietnam at the end of this year to meet those requirements. And having that capital means that we have to grow quite rapidly in order to use properly all the capital we will have in Vietnam. So our plans include expanding our business, as I said earlier, particularly amongst the corporate sector, but we will be helping the government and government-owned enterprises as well as financial institutions to develop their businesses. And in addition, we're also looking to bank individuals as well through our branches in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh.
Well, Standard Chartered has been here for quite a long time, and also you are expanding your business here. So can you share with us your view on the potential of the Vietnamese market?
There's huge potential in Vietnam. There's been huge potential for a long time, but it really is with a great sense of excitement that I come to Vietnam at this time, because I certainly believe that not only is this a progressive economy, but it is irreversibly a progressive economy. There's no going back. This will be a progressive economy. It'll be progressive in terms of the resources that it has and that it can exploit. It will be progressive in terms of building infrastructure. It'll be progressive in terms of raising individuals' income levels and standards of living across the country. And an efficient banking system is a critical part of ensuring all of that happens. And at Standard Chartered, we very much look forward to being part of the banking system that helps to all of that to happen.
Well, once again, thank you for joining with our interview of today, and I hope to see you plenty of times in the future.
Thank you.
The conversation has concluded our program this week. Thank you for watching. For comments and feedback, send us an email at intovietnam@vitv.vn or call us at 04-222-08288. Thank you for now, and don't forget to tune in for our daily evening news. I'll see you next time.